And we are recording. All right, you guys, welcome to our team call this week. We've taken a few weeks off because I've been in a leadership training with, it's called the Star Diamond Toolbox, and they've had their calls on Tuesday nights. So we took a little bit of a break on our team calls, but we're back at it. And as we move forward, if there's anything in particular that you guys feel like you want some extra training on, or if there's any coaches you would love to hear from within Team Inspiration or locally, let me know because I can make that happen, okay? Because I want these team calls to add value to you, because everything that I'm giving you, I already know. So anything at all that you guys need more help with, these team calls are a great opportunity for me to add extra value to you guys. So that being said, I promise today to share a little bit more from HBA because I'm still going through my journal notebook thing that he gave us. Name High Performers Academy. He calls it our manifesto. If you've never read Brendon Burchard, you're in for a treat because he has a different kind of language. But what I wanted to share with you today, I've been sharing little tidbits in the team page every day. What I want to share with you today is a little bit more involved. So I wanted to be able to give you kind of a visual as we talk about it. We're going to talk about momentum and what stops our momentum, because we know in this business, momentum is everything. Once we get that ball rolling and things are going, that's when the business gets easier. And we all know that doing something to kill our momentum is not good practice. But sometimes we do that inadvertently and we don't realize we've done something or allowed something to happen that has killed our momentum. So I'm going to make sure that we are all muted, and I'm going to share my screen really quickly. And I'm going to show you what exactly I'm talking about. Okay. Can you guys all see that? Someone give me a thumbs up. And Ashley, you're such a punk. I'm going to drop this down and see if we can get that out of our way. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to, I think I need to actually go. Aha. We're going to talk about what's putting the brakes on your momentum. And there are three main categories or three main blocks to your momentum, okay? So I'm going to show you kind of a chart that when we're done, I will give you a screenshot of this chart that you can use. I'd love to have you save this to your phone and do a periodic momentum check, weekly or twice a month or monthly or whatever you feel like is right for you. I would love for you guys to start doing a periodic momentum check because this chart is going to give you some things that you can look at. So our first big block is bad thinking, okay? Bad thinking, what does that mean? There are three different types of bad thinking that get us in trouble. The first one is imitation, okay? Imitation is a very valuable tool when you are a beginner, okay? Imitation is, it is. We use it in our business a lot, and when you're a brand new coach, it can be very valuable to say, okay, how is my coach sharing her story? How is my coach talking to people? How is my coach inviting people and responding to all these objections? Imitation can help you get yourself in the game, okay? And get your business off the ground. But at some point, you have to move on from that baseline, okay? You have to start building up and you have to start becoming yourself and allowing your business to be unique to you. So modeling is for beginners, and as you become a high performer, modeling or imitation will kill your motivation. Okay, it's going to kill it because there's nothing in it that's you. If you're always posting the same thing I post, if you're always sending the same messages I send, it's going to kill your motivation. I had this same talk yesterday with Ashley Balls. because she was saying that she felt like her messages on Instagram were not sincere because she's using the scripts that we all use. And we always say, take this script and tweak it to make it your own. But when we tweak it, a lot of the time we change like one word. So she had recognized that her messages were feeling inauthentic, and she changed that. And she's changed the way that she talks to people. And that's when you know that you've built your foundation and you're ready to go up, okay? So imitation is something to really watch for. And you also have to kind of know yourself and figure out what's unique about me and how can I bring something unique into this business that's different from most of the other coaches. So I want you to remember that imitation is the inability to have individualization. This business is a team effort, but you are running your own business. You are the CEO of your business. So you need to give yourself permission to do things your way, to do it a little different from everyone else, and you need to make sure that that's a focus. The next kind of bad thinking is fear. This was a really fun topic for me to hear Brendan talk about. He said that most normal people fear three things. They fear loss, they fear process pain or hardship, so like the hardship that's going to come from striving for a goal, and then they fear success. They fear the outcome. They fear the changes that will bring into their lives, and they're not sure how that's going to fit into their life. Now, I've talked to you guys a little bit about this, but we are high performers. We think differently than other people, which is why we're here doing this, which is why we are doing something that most people around us think is crazy, because we see something bigger for our lives. And we've chosen coaching as the vehicle to get us to that bigger life that we envision. So we are high performers, or we are striving to become high performers, and we are high performance thinkers. So we as high performers fear a little differently, because we think big, we fear big. So we're not scared of losing something or a little bit of hardship. We are afraid of ruin. We think that if anything goes wrong, it's all gonna go wrong. If this launch doesn't go well, if I don't hit Success Club, if I don't hit this goal, I am ruined. That's the end of the world. Like, it's gonna be a catastrophe if I am not diamond by October 11th. Like, this has to happen. Oh my gosh. And if it doesn't, I'm ruined, right? We catastrophize simple things. We have to stop predicting ruin. It's impossible. It's impossible to predict ruin. And you have to stop waiting for perfection, because perfection by definition means the process of perfecting. So you can't fear launching something or going for a goal and failing to do that because you're afraid that you won't do it right, or you won't do it well enough, or to have this thought in the back of your mind that it will be the end of the world. It's there. That thought is there, and you have to watch for it and use logic to remind yourself that it's just a goal. It's just something to help me move forward and look to the future. And the only way that I can get there is by trying and failing and trying and failing. Big change can't come without big risk. And that's what we're here to do, is to create big change in our lives. So one thing I would challenge you to do here is to think of one bold action that you could take today. What's one bold action that maybe has been in the back of your mind, but you've been like hiding from it, or not willing to recognize that maybe this would be a good step for you? Maybe you're afraid to tell your story. Whatever it is, what's one bold action you can take that will help you push that fear aside? Another thing that we fear as high performers is rejection. I know you have all faced this. You're afraid of rejection when you tell people what you're doing. You're afraid for them to reject you when you invite them. You're afraid for the people in your life to reject your goals and your aspirations and your focus as a coach. And that can really put the brakes on our momentum. we are pushing for more success than most people. Most people are happy for, paycheck to paycheck, food on the table, a house to sleep in, the basic needs, and that's life for them. We are pushing for something more. We are looking for bigger success, and that means we have more to lose because we have these big goals and big dreams. But what you need to realize is those people that you fear rejection from, their opinion doesn't matter, not even a little bit. Those people have nothing to do with your future. Those people cannot decide your destiny. So fearing their rejection is allowing someone else to determine your future, and you cannot do that. So you have to watch for those feelings of fear of rejection, and you have to push them aside. Brendan was pretty funny. He said that he always tells himself when these feelings of fear of rejection come on, he always says, bad math, Brendan, bad math. Because, for example, if you say 1,000 people, and you tell these 1,000 people you've decided to become a coach and you're going to grow a 7-figure business through coaching, and you fear their rejection. Well, what's going to happen? Are they going to reject you? Some of them are. Some of them probably will. Most likely, you'll get maybe 5 or 10 who actually say anything to you out of 1,000. So if you think about that, that's just bad math to fear such a small number of people who are so self-absorbed and so afraid of their own inability to act that they would react toward your goals when all these other people either support you or they're not paying attention to you or whatever. That rejection is just such a minuscule part of what you're going to face. It's really not worth the effort to worry about it. Another thing we fear is regret. This one's big. We fear missing out. We have major FOMO because we're so good. We know we can do anything. We are so good because we're high performers. We can do many things. And we think that means we should do all the things. There's a couple of you on here that this might be ringing true for. We think that because we can, we should. So we take on too much, and we're afraid that if we don't say yes to something, we're missing out on something. We're afraid to miss out on whatever experience might be behind that yes that we offer. So we overextend ourselves, we have scattered performance, and it doesn't work. So watch for that fear of regret. Think about that when you say yes to something that maybe you don't even really want to do, and figure out if that FOMO is what's causing you to say yes to that. And the other thing we fear, this was a big one, this whole category of fear was, the other thing that we fear is responsibility. How many of you have ever thought, gosh, I'm still a pretty new coach, and I only have a few coaches or a few customers, and I can't even manage what I've got. I can't even remember to check in with them. I can't even stay on top of the work that I have. How am I supposed to ever think that I could handle a huge organization with hundreds of thousands of coaches? Or, gosh, I can't even keep on top of my bills and my finances and our budget, and I forget to check it, and I forget how much we have, and our finances are a mess. How in the world could I possibly manage 6 figures? That fear of responsibility is real. It's real. But it doesn't make sense because your ability to handle things comes as those things appear in your life. So you may not be able to handle a 6-figure budget right now. You may not have the skills or the capability or the focus, but as you build to that point, those abilities will come. So stop fearing the responsibility, because your ability to handle that is going to come as you grow. Okay? Okay, next. The last one in this category is dread. We dread the struggle. We know that pushing for these big goals is going to be hard. We know that. And we dread it. We dread failing to meet a deadline. We dread missing Success Club. We dread having a customer decide to return their products and say it didn't work for me. We dread the struggle. Any worthwhile endeavor is going to be hard. Any worthwhile endeavor will always bring conflict. Stop being surprised by that. That's obvious. That's a given. If you're doing something worth doing, there's going to be a struggle. That's the nature of the beast. So stop being surprised by that. Prepare for that. Be ready to face that and stop dreading it, because that dread is stopping you from acting. It's going to be hard, but we didn't set out to do something easy. We set out to grow. We did not sign up for this because we thought it was going to be an easy $1 million. We signed up for this because we could see the potential. We could see that this was something we could build up to our goals. So growth is hard. It's always going to be hard, but we're not looking for easy. Honor the struggle. Recognize the struggles that you face. Honor how it makes you feel. And then move on. Look for the strength that's coming from that struggle and acknowledge how much you are growing for having faced it. And then move on. Because you have to acknowledge that struggle, like I said, it's making you stronger, but in making you stronger right now, it's making the next struggle easier to face. So this is like a continual process of struggle, build strength. The next struggle is a little bit easier, but you're still going to struggle. You're going to build strength. So it's a process, and it's, again, growth. It's a matter of growing into who you want to become. Yes. Not right now, bud. Okay, next. Bad habits. We like to preach about these, don't we? We like to talk all about bad habits to the people who follow us and talk about how they are the biggest, that's what's going to stop us from reaching our goals. But do you ever apply that to your business? What are the bad habits that you have in your life that are stopping you from growing in your business, or just in your life in general? All of this can be applied to your life in general. The first one is avoidance. Ooh, what are you avoiding? I want you to think about that. I really want you to think about that. What are you avoiding? What is something that you feel like you need to be doing that you're avoiding? What is something that you know you need to be doing and you keep putting it off? What is something that you're afraid to try? Stop avoiding it and go on the attack. This is not about being defensive our whole life. We're not defending our position. We are attacking and moving forward to claim a new position, to claim new territory in our lives. So whatever you're avoiding right now, write it down and write down one thing you can go and do that will get you started toward accomplishing that thing. One of the things, for an example, one of the things that I wrote down was training my team. I avoid training you guys because I have a fear of my inability to lead. I fear that I don't have enough to offer. I fear that my position in this business isn't good enough to be able to teach you anything. So what I wrote down was to create a team training page. Check, that's done. And to do daily training in our team page for 30 days to train you on something that I am learning every day for 30 days so that I can face that fear, stop avoiding it, and move toward what I'm trying to become, which is a better leader. So that's just an example for you. What is something that you are avoiding? I'm going to start moving a little bit quicker through these. The next one is overcommitment. Again, we talked about this a little bit when we were talking about fear, FOMO. But when you're overcommitting yourself, you are again on defense. You are not on offense. You overcommit yourself because you're not clear on your goals. You're not clear on your goals for the day or your priorities. So when someone asks you to do something, you say yes because you don't know what else you're supposed to be doing because you have not gotten clear on your goals and what's most important for you. The other problem with this, when you overcommit and you overstretch yourself, you're not delivering quality. So what does this mean? It means in your business, you're dropping the ball, you're losing challengers and forgetting to check in with people, and you're missing things and you're not giving the full experience that you promised. Not right now. In your life, when you're overcommitting, you're not delivering quality. You say, sure, I can help with that party in my kid's class, but when you're there, you're completely distracted and stressed and in a bad mood, and you're not delivering a good experience for your kids. So overcommitment makes it impossible for you to deliver quality. You cannot do it all. You need to help the ones that you're meant to help, which means you need to get clear on your goals and your purpose. What is your purpose in life, and who are you trying to serve? Are you doing busy work or life's work? Are you doing busy work or are you doing your life's work? And finally, we have burnout. This is a favorite word in the coaching community. Man, I'm just so burned out. For high performers in general, burnout is really common because we push, we hustle so hard for these goals, and then all of a sudden we just crash and we're totally burned out. And what's wrong with that? Well, a couple things. If you're burned out, you're not hustling, you're not moving forward, you're not moving towards your goals. Burnout also makes it really easy to justify bad behavior. So if you're burned out in your business, you're most likely to go and make bad eating choices, which is going to only make your business worse because you're not going to be a product of the product. That's just one example, but burnout makes it really easy to justify bad behaviors. Here's the thing about burnout. Again, it comes from not prioritizing or planning your time. It comes from taking on too much and from doing the things that are less important while those most important things are still riding on your shoulder, nagging at you. Burnout is a feeling. It's a feeling. That's all it is. It's an emotion, and it can be overcome. You have to learn to recognize it, and you have to learn to see it coming. When you feel like burnout's coming, you need to take a step back and you need to look at what you've been doing. Are you taking on too much? Are you not prioritizing properly? What can you change to avoid that burnout? All right, let's move on to the third category, bad relationships. This one, I am not going to tell you what to do. I am going to give you kind of an overview of the different kinds of bad relationships, but I am not going to tell you what you should or should not do. This is something you need to evaluate in your own life, simply because it's very personal. So, bad relationships, obliviousness. Are you oblivious to the people with whom you have relationships? Are you oblivious to the things that they need from you? Are you oblivious to the feelings or the emotions that they are expressing? This is most likely going to have you thinking of your family. But are you, I will say, I thought of my family, but I also thought of you guys. I thought of my team, and I thought, how many times have I had a coach come to me and just out of the blue, it would seem, vent about their frustration or their struggles, and I had no idea they were struggling because I was oblivious. I was not in tune with the emotions and the energies of my relationships. So that's something to consider. Division. I'm trying to find my notes on this because this one is really hard for me to put into words. And I can't find my notes. Are you allowing your goals to divide you from the people who matter most? Are you allowing your relationships to have a feeling of division in them? Like, we're not going for the same things. We don't have the same interests. There's just this division between us that didn't used to be here. If there is, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't go for the goals that you're working on. It just means you need to communicate more. It just means that you need to have the conversation. You need to find out what it is that they're doing that you have not had any interest in. And you need to ask them if they can support you in yours, and ask them what you can do to make it easier for them to support you in your goals, in your business. I'm going to leave it at that because division, that one was just really hard for me. And I don't think that I can do it justice. So we're going to move on. Superiority. How many of you have ever felt a sense of superiority? Like, I've done it. I've seen people post on social media, and I'll see someone who's just negative, and whining and griping about some experience or whatever. And in my head, I'm thinking, gosh, they need to get it together. They need personal development in their life. What is their problem? Like, they're never going to get anywhere with that attitude. So, oh, hey, we got some extra time. That shocked me. It was weird. Okay. So, are you ever having feelings of superiority? I've also had similar thoughts around family members who, when you become a high performance thinker and you become a big thinker, and your thinking is always focused on the next goal or the next, like, what's next, right? Like, I'm moving forward. I'm focusing on my growth. I'm trying to become a better person. I'm trying to overcome my bad habits. And then you go around people who are not changing really, and they're just continuing on in the ways they've always done, and they don't do anything to grow as a person. Do you ever have those thoughts of superiority? And do you need to check yourself and focus more on yourself and less on them? Because those thoughts of superiority, these bad relationships, these bad vibes, I guess you could say, in your relationships are going to suck the energy out of everything that you do. So you still have to be able to give some attention and some focus to the relationships in your life that are most important, because when those relationships go on the fritz, your whole life is going to tumble. They are your foundation, and you have to give them proper attention. However, that being said, there are going to be relationships that maybe don't get priority anymore. There are going to be friendships that don't support you and don't add value to you. There are 3 different categories of friends that Brendan talked about, and I really like the way he talks about this. We have old friends, we have maintenance friends, and we have growth friends. So old friends are the people, maybe you grew up with them, they were your best friend growing up, but you really don't have anything in common anymore. You just don't have any reason to even stay connected. You don't really ever talk to them. You can honor that friendship. You can still honor the fact that this person was a vital part of your life at one point in your life, but that doesn't mean you have to be around them or you have to spend time investing in that relationship any longer. Then we have maintenance friends. These are friends who, you really like them. There's nothing about being around them that really affects you negatively, but you don't spend a ton of time with them. These are the friends that, maybe you talk to on the phone once a year, or you send birthday cards, or maybe you get together every so often for a date night or whatever. These are your maintenance friends. Honor that friendship and know that they're there for you and you're there for them, but it's not a friendship that takes a lot of your time and energy. And then you have growth friends. And when he talked about growth friends, I immediately thought of all of you. Growth friends are the people who are on a path like you, the people who are growing and who push you to grow as well. These are the people who offer value to your life, who maybe you have great conversations about something that you've read or something that you've learned. And these are just the people that help you to be a better person. And these are the people you really want to invest in. These are the people that you really want to spend extra time with, because we all know that the 5 people we spend the most time with, we become an average of those people. So you want to make sure you're spending some time with your growth friends even if it's not in person, even if it's something like this, or if it's, you know, texting or calling or whatever, you want to stay super connected to those friends. He gave us a 10-day challenge that I would love to offer to you guys. He gave a 10-day text challenge. And the challenge was to text someone or message them an audio message or a video message, just saying something great to them, some kind of affirmation to them, or tell them how wonderful they are, how proud you are of them for something they've done, or just how much you appreciate them. Send one of those every day for 10 days. A text voice message or a video to someone in your life that you really appreciate, and give them some kind of a positive message. So if you guys take that on, I want to hear about it, because I've been doing it and it's been a lot of fun. It really has, because we're definitely, he talked about our phones, and he said we use our phones as a weapon of mass distraction. Yeah, our phones are a weapon of mass distraction. He challenged us to use it instead for mass intention. We talk about being intentional when we work our business, but if you're also intentional in your relationships and you use this tool and other tools to add value to your most important relationships, it's going to go a long way toward helping you to build up those people and foster better relationships. Okay. So I'm going to pop this up. Do you guys have any questions at all? If you do, please unmute yourself. I'm going to go ahead and stop the share. Like I said, I will take a screenshot of that and I'll post it in the team page when we're done so that you guys can have it. No questions? We're good to go? Okay. So I hope that you guys took notes, but I know it's a weird time of day and a lot of you probably didn't, and that's fine because we have a recording. I want you to look at this momentum check when I share it with the team, and I want you to make sure that you understand it. And if you need clarification on any of it, please just ask me. And then I want you to do a check. I want you to implement this into your life and say, okay, what is slowing my roll? What is going to stop my momentum if I don't fix it now? Because I'm certain that you guys are like me, and a lot of these really struck home, and you're like, oh, that's me. Oh, yep, I do that. These are the things that kill your momentum. And now you know, which means now you can fix it. You can prevent that momentum dying a slow death and then going, what the heck happened? So hopefully this will be a good tool for you guys.